Hi everyone, hope you're well. I haven't done a podcast for 4 weeks, which is the longest I haven't done one. And there's been a few reasons for that. One of which was I was doing a little bit of part-time work to keep things ticking over. I've also started doing a new activity at the weekend, which takes up a little bit more time. And I just thought I'd have a few weeks just to reconfigure things. But I just want to say thanks to all the people who've contributed to North and South podcasts and the charity North and South Education, CIC. And one of the big things which concerns me locally at the moment is people seem to know a lot about like international stuff and national themes. And there's a lot of news and misinformation being spread around on the internet these days with algorithms. And often we buy into the algorithm and then it hits us with stuff which pushes us and pushes us and pushes us. But I'm very concerned with the general flow of information in the world. Now, the world has got lots of issues. We're all human. You put humans together, you get issues with individuals, you get issues with groups. And whereas as a global society. So I'm not going to go into the big issues at the moment to do with like war, the Trump regime and its impact on the world, the spread of populism and, if you like, far-right nationalism around the world and the instability that goes with that. But just in a UK perspective, we've got a problem at the moment where a government that claims to be progressive coming in, find the government really hard. The economy wasn't great. They've inherited loads of problems. But I don't think that the Labour governments have helped themselves, and it's been quite disappointing in many ways. Although I do feel it is better than by and large than what it's been like for the previous 14 years, which were terrible. And I honestly think that things would be worse if we still had that Conservative government, which was just stuttering along and didn't seem to know what it was about. I could spend a long time criticising the Labour Party, nationally and locally. But one thing I will say is that there are a lot of people who seem to be saying, like, oh, they're all as bad as each other, and you shouldn't vote for any of them, and it's a uni party, it's all the same. There's a big danger of the Reform Party becoming a significant political power in the UK. And we just need to look around the world to see what those kinds of right-wing populists do. And the appeal of a strong man like Nigel Farage, this guy, like, oh, he's the kind of guy you can have a pint with in the pub. He's an oligarch. So what was it? Allegedly 90k a month. He's a grifter. He wouldn't make people's lives better. He just likes to punch down at vulnerable groups and blame them and make things simple. Come up with this idea of a liberal elite. So you go, okay, so there are elements of the elite which are liberal, but what about the elite that isn't liberal? The aristocracy, the oligarchs, the corporation leaders, the media moguls. What's he going to do with all that? The ones who are contaminating our entire political space. What's he going to do about dirty money in politics? He is dirty money in politics. He's a gaslighter, Nigel Farage, and he's saying things like global warming isn't real. Really, do you really want to have that discussion? Is that where we've come to? And so what I'm thinking of doing is I've been speaking to a few groups locally about trying to get a local kind of news going, representing the Bootle and Sefton areas where I live. There's a lot of stuff online with a lot of extremist stuff, shit posting, just nonsense stuff. And I think if we could get some kind of local news which holds people to account, so it's based on transparency, the sharing of information, but also resisting extremism. And let's be honest with you, extremism is now part of the mainstream. Extremist opinions on the right are now part of the mainstream. And we've been here before. We've seen this through history. There are plenty of examples. And one of the reasons that governments, particularly right-wing governments, don't want widespread education is they don't want people being informed about things. They want to control what is being said in places of education. And they want to basically get rid of a public sphere and the chance for debate to just have their rigid hierarchical way of doing things. They're going about free speech. They wouldn't know free speech if it bit them on the arse. They want to get rid of free speech. And the big problems that we're facing in the world, things like climate change, the spread of populism, the danger of nuclear war, AI, we can go on about them till the cows come home. We can talk about how national governments are struggling. But the British model, we've got the highest childcare in the world, in the developed world, got the lowest pension in Europe. And what is the social contract for the average British person these days? The right want to destroy everything so that people don't feel like government helps them anymore, so the government retreats. Go back to Victorian era or something like that. Inequality and the difficulty it is for people just to stand still at the moment. How young people are expected to buy houses and get a mortgage and even just pay the rent moving forward and have kids. They go on about more white people from Britain having kids on the right. No one can afford to have kids. And I think there's a real news desert locally. Local newspapers have closed down. There's a few newspapers in Liverpool area. But now we're seeing an increase in things like GB News and these little snippets on social media that just wind people up, that don't solve any problem, just wind people up and blame a particular group, punching down. People like J.K. Rowling, the power she's got, what does she do? Otherize trans women. It's all that about. Just to finish with a little something a bit more positive. I'm looking to develop maybe some local news, local information, which is balanced. And I'm speaking to a few people about that. We'll see how it goes. In the meantime, if you can follow me on Substack, the details will be below. If you can support this podcast and the community initiatives and ideals behind it as much as possible. If you want to get involved, if you've got skills which can go into podcasting, production, journalism, do get in touch. And we're just looking to make things a bit better locally. One thing I'll always say is that I'm big on well-being. It starts with you as well, the way you view yourself. I'm bettering yourself, knowing yourself, what makes you tick, what winds you up. Should you let that wind you up, those kind of things. But then working with others to make the world a better place, to make our communities a better place. And I think that's important for our children's futures, as well as our own futures, and this human project, that we don't make the same mistakes that humans have made in the past. And that's why history is important. It's why personal development is important. It's why transparent journalism is important. So look after yourselves, keep the faith, and let's make the world a better place. And it starts with you and the decisions you make every single day. If you can support us, that's great. Details below. And if you can like, share, subscribe. And if you want to get involved, please do get in touch and we'll see where we can take this project moving forward. On YouTube as well, if you go to the YouTube channel, the North and South YouTube channel, there's like playlists on different issues you can look at now. If you want to come on, if you've got something that you want to say in relation to community, well-being, those kinds of issues, please do get in touch. But I hope you're all okay and you are enjoying our fine British summer weather. And if it isn't overcast, threatening rain, it's often too hot. I really struggle with the heat. It's important to stay mindful. So enjoy your day. You'll never have today again. And each morning I do yoga with Charlie Follows on YouTube, and Chewie says, set an intention for the day. And I always find that useful when I do that in the morning before I start work. Right, take it easy, look after yourselves, and speak soon.